I'm Karen Brunmeyer, and I have a little bit of an interesting story to share with you today about my fight with leaky gut. It's about how I finally took matters into my own hands and how I put an end to my debilitating symptoms and started feeling great again after suffering every single day for many years. How did I do it? The funny thing is that what worked for me were the very things that my doctors laughed at and told me were ridiculous. But what's even funnier is that these techniques also work for my clients. And I bet they will work for you too. While everyone around me was enjoying life, I could barely function. But when I first found out that there was something I could do about it, I was overcome with a huge sense of relief. I'm going to tell you my story because odds are you are going through something very similar. But it doesn't matter what your chronic symptoms are. Anyone who struggles with any of the symptoms of leaky gut syndrome will relate to this story. In fact, the symptoms of leaky gut are so vast, they can literally be anything from food allergies, to airborne allergies, to arthritis, to IBS, to ulcerative colitis, to Crohn's disease, to chronic fatigue, to depression, to anxiety, to eczema, or recurring infections. And this is just a short list. There are many, many more. And you'll want to make sure you watch this entire video now because it won't be online for very long. I want to tell you more than just my story. I want to give you the cure that I discovered and that still works for my clients today. If you're anything like me, then you have tried everything under the sun to get relief, continuously searching the internet for hours looking for that one thing that you have been missing, hoping that one day you'll just wake up and be back to living the life that you used to enjoy. I remember the frustration of talking to my doctors who could offer me nothing more than a lifetime of prescription drugs to help manage my symptoms. But I wasn't ready to give up just yet. At that time, I was studying to become a dietitian, but none of the dietary recommendations helped. Then I learned that my so-called healthy diet was completely opposite of how I should be eating based upon my genetics. And after a few days of changing my diet, I had more energy than I could remember in years. Talk about a wake-up call. This ultimately led me to change my career path from dietetics to holistic nutritionist. I just wanted to share this energetic feeling with every single one of my clients, and I did. And lo and behold, it worked, and far better than any of the dietitian guidelines I had learned in school. While I continued feeling better every single day, I still had some stubborn symptoms that just wouldn't go away. So I spent $600 for a 1-hour consult with the best holistic practitioner I knew. But everything he told me, I already knew. So you know what I did? Because I felt that I had tried everything I could, I was ready to give up. I was just born this way and I'll just have to learn to live with it. That's what I would tell myself. It took me a while to get out of that rut, but I finally came to terms with the fact that this was just an excuse. But by that time, I had become very frustrated with not being able to figure out what was wrong. I was tired of feeling like I was a prisoner of my symptoms. I was mentally drained from having to cope with my symptoms while dealing with all the other daily stresses of life. I felt like I couldn't catch a break. I'm sure you know the exact feelings that I'm talking about. Maybe you're dealing with some of these same issues on a daily basis as we speak. But that's when I met 2 functional medicine doctors that changed my life forever. Not only did I learn functional medicine, I learned how every single one of my symptoms could be traced back to my leaky gut. But I wasn't the only one with leaky gut. In fact, millions of people just like you suffer from leaky gut syndrome every single day. Almost every single one goes undiagnosed. Today, I'm a different person. I learned exactly how to get to the root of the problem and heal leaky gut naturally and permanently. And since I did, my life has never been better. My symptoms disappeared, and I could finally focus on the more important things in life, which was a pleasant change. No more fear and confusion of not knowing what is going on. No more frustration of not getting any answers. No more being consumed by this condition and wondering if you'll ever just get over it. No more wasting hours of your time researching symptoms without finding any help. And here's the crazy part. After struggling for years, I started getting results within days, and almost all of my symptoms were gone within a few short weeks. And it worked for more than just me. I began focusing my private practice entirely on leaky gut, and it worked wonders for my clients too. I have to admit that I was absolutely amazed. I felt like I had stumbled upon the Holy Grail. How did I do it? by following the exact process that my doctors told me would only make my condition worse. And here it is. The leaky gut cure process. But let me first stress the importance of following this process in order. The order itself is a big part of what makes this so powerful and effective. Step 1. I removed all sources of inflammation that were driving my symptoms. Immediately, my symptoms began to improve and some even disappeared altogether. Step 2. I replaced the missing components holding me back from healing. Just when I thought it couldn't get better, I noticed that I wasn't reacting negatively to many of the foods that used to trigger my symptoms. Step 3. I rebalanced the internal ecosystem inside my gut. Then my severe digestive symptoms cleared up completely, which my doctor told me was impossible. Step 4. I accelerated the healing process. All of the pieces had come together, and for the first time in over 7 years, I felt like I was healthy again, and I was ready to take on the world. Here's why this process is so important. Taking supplements while the inflammation is still present is like trying to rebuild a house while it is burning to the ground. Your supplements and money are just getting burned by the flames, and most of us have better uses for our money. And not only that, but the vast majority of doctors give the wrong recommendations that can cause your symptoms to get worse. I've been there, so I know the hopeless feeling this can cause, and needless to say, even more wasted money down the drain. Or maybe your doctor put you on prescription drugs only to trade your symptoms in for a new set of side effects. Or maybe your drugs cause new symptoms to surface, which is much more common than you think. There's a better way to get results, and it's amazingly fast. We've already covered how easy it is to waste time and money on supplements and doctors that don't understand what your problem really is to begin with. But listen closely, because I'm going to give you the 4 key concepts that are going to leave you symptom-free and enjoying life once again. Here they are. Key concept number 1. You need to realize that many of the foods that you are surrounded by every day that are claiming to be health foods are actually part of the problem and are actually making your symptoms worse. Maybe you thought whole wheat was keeping you healthy, or drinking milk or even soy milk was doing your body good. Think again. These are a few of the most common foods that could be contributing to your symptoms. But in just a minute, I'm going to show you what foods you should be eating and what you can substitute those unhealthy foods with to start getting immediate results. Key concept number 2. Even if you are eating all the right foods, it may not be enough. When you develop leaky gut, you can become sensitive to any food you eat, even the healthy foods. It is absolutely necessary to determine your underlying food sensitivities and remove these foods from your diet. If you don't, then these sensitivities will continue to create the inflammation that drives your chronic symptoms. Key concept number 3. Another aspect of healing that most people and doctors fail to even address at all is your lifestyle. There are many simple additions that you can make to your current lifestyle that are extremely effective, not only for your health, but for healing your leaky gut too. And while these lifestyle additions can really do wonders and leave you feeling great, you have to be certain that your current lifestyle is not sabotaging your results. Key concept number 4. This is an extremely important concept that you need to understand. While supplements can and should be used to help speed up the healing process, it is extremely important to use only the right supplements, and especially at the right time. I can't even begin to tell you how many of the supplements out there are completely useless. I have even found many of my clients to be using health supplements that were actually causing them more harm than good. And the timing of your supplements is just as important. If taken at the wrong time, you might as well flush your money down the toilet. So what is the best way to cure leaky gut and make your symptoms a thing of the past? I have taken everything that I have learned as a holistic nutritionist, functional medicine practitioner, and health consultant, and I have formulated a proven program that has already helped hundreds of people just like you. And from this proven method, the Leaky Gut Cure was created, which is now helping people all over the world overcome their chronic symptoms. And these aren't temporary results that last